Hi guys, welcome back. This is Walesa from A Life Refurbished. And today's makeover was inspired by this dresser that I randomly ran across while looking for inspiration to stage another piece. There are some challenges to this design. Stick around and see if I can accomplish the look. Today's piece has veneer damage on some of the drawer fronts and corners, as well as the edges around the top and bottoms on each side. Because of all the damage, I thought it would be a great piece to recreate that look on, even if it was on a tall boy dresser. If you remember, my inspiration piece is a low boy dresser that has 6 drawers, and mine is a tall boy. All I had to do was to split the original design in half. We're starting by cleaning our dresser with dish soap and water and scraping off some sticky stuff from the top. I removed the front drawers to clean the inside and found a surprise. Okay, this one came with a few surprises, so let's see what we got. Okay, we have Ibra, we have Isaac. And another sock. Hopefully that's it. You can throw me a birthday party, any surprise party, but I don't like any surprises regarding furniture. This one is dusty. I think I'm gonna get my vacuum out. Thank goodness that's all I found. And I know this is silly of me because obviously people use dressers to keep all kinds of clothing, and this includes undergarments, but that's where my brain goes. Let's flip it to vacuum any dust bunnies from underneath. Other than the veneer damage, this dresser didn't have any deep scratches or dings. All I needed to do was to scuff sand it using 120 grit. This will give my primer something to hang on to. As far as removing the finish from the legs, I've been finding that if I remove the first layer using the carbide scraper and sand the rest of it off, really saves me from going through a lot of sanding paper. Today I get to make all the measurements on the pole wrap and the MDF that I'm gonna be using on the front of this dresser. To show you this sketch, I measure each drawer, the width, the height, just to kind of get an idea where I wanted those curves to be. What gets tricky is those wavy rounded cuts. Even if it doesn't look exactly like the inspiration piece, just hoping I can get it close enough. So the one difference between this dresser and the inspiration piece is that we have these drawer dividers here that I need to take into consideration for the overall design. I'm using circle cut that I ended up buying, I believe, at Michael's for the 7-inch. Quarter of a circle needs to be. A nail, string, and a pencil is how I'm gonna trace that half circle on the bottom because I don't have anything that's big enough. I really want the curvy cuts to look proportionate. So here I'm sharing some of the tracing with measurements. I think when I make my cuts, I'm just gonna feel a little more sure of myself and have a better idea to what I'm doing. Ideally, we would be using a scroll saw to make a lot of the cuts that you see us making today, but we don't have one, so it took both of us to make the circular cuts. And if I'm being completely honest, we were totally improvising here. We even used a Dremel and even a hand saw, which made me laugh a little because things were moving all over the place. But the good thing about working together is that we're really good about bouncing ideas off of each other, and we always make it happen. Okay, so this is how things are looking right now. There are some rough edges and I need to make sure that I sand those so that they can all fit like a puzzle piece. I still have a couple rounded cuts to make, and those are challenging, you guys. Those are challenging. I'm adding wood filler to fill in for the missing veneer. It's always a good idea to glue, pull wrap, or plywood on top of a flat surface. In about 45 minutes, once the wood filler dries, I'm gonna be sanding it until smooth and removing any dust. We glue the new design to the front drawers using liquid nails. Since there is a curve on the front of the drawers and we want to be certain that everything is going to stay securely in place for a long time, we also nail the panels. And of course, after using a few, we ran out, so we had to wait until the next morning to add the rest. But just know that everything was also nailed in. Yeah, it's done it for me. You just have to make sure that you're holding the gun. Up until this point, everything was going well until I made this mistake. And yes, we do share our mistakes here. Unfortunately, I attached this part upside down. Once I became aware of it, I went into full panic mode and didn't record it, but basically I had to rip it all off and reattach it the right way. Today, I'm priming the body with 2 coats of bean shellac white primer, sanding in between coats with a 320 grit to smooth out the surface. While the primer is drying, I'm piping some wood filler. Yes, you heard correctly. The same way like if I was going to add frosting to my cupcakes. After cutting a small opening on one of the corners of the bag, I started scooping some of the wood filler in and then squeezing it out to fill in the gaps between the 2 different wood textures. I think this is going to give my overall design a cleaner look. With the help of a damp Q-tip, I smooth out the wood filler and remove any extra. If you get any wood filler in an undesirable area, once it's dry, you can also sand any of that off. As I'm getting ready to apply my first coat of paint, I'm sanding after my primer application with a 320 grit to smooth out my surface. After I'm done cleaning the dust, I'm gonna be applying a beautiful neutral color called Chateau from Fusion Mineral Paint. I'm spraying 2 coats using my Flexio 3500 sprayer from Wagner. And as much as I debated leaving the front wood design bare or not, I went for a color wash and I used my go-to Algonquin color, also from Fusion Mineral Paint. As for the application of the color wash, there is only one thing I did different. This time I apply a very light coat so I didn't have to wipe any of the excess off. The same treatment was applied to the legs. Well, what's kept the same was the water and paint ratio. In case you're new here, I use 1 part paint to 3 parts water to make this watery blend. To finish up this part of the project and to smooth out the look between one wood texture and the other, I painted all the edges that had wood filler, using the same paint color, but this time applying it full strength. Today is top coat day, which means that we're almost to the end of our project. Per usual, I'm using high performance top coat from General Finishes. I'm applying 3 coats. Let's take a quick look at the before of our piece today. And as you can see, there's a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, so I made it a perfect candidate for today's project. And this is how it looks today. I can't wait to read your comments. Let me know if you would have painted the design on the front or if you would have done what I did today. I love the end result, and I will see you guys next time.